Okay, my name is Imam Dr. Luqman Abdur, the Amir of the Muslim Congress, Nigeria.
So, what's the Islamic perspective on terrorism?
If you look at the word terrorism, it's not a palatable word. It's a word that suggests criminality, bloodshed, killing people without justification, etc. So in Islam, it doesn't find a place. So that's why in many of our press releases, press statements, etc., we describe terrorists and terrorism as satanic acts, which is antithetical to the principle of Islam. Specifically, people like Al-Qaeda, ISIL, Boko Haram in Nigeria, etc., they have been branded terrorist group, and their body language, their objectives, and everything they do are clearly un-Islamic. So we don't have anything to do with them, and they are strangers as far as our religion, Islam, is concerned. So that's
as a
just
as a religious organization, what are you doing to combat the ideological indoctrination, especially youth?
Yes, if you look at the Muslim Congress and other responsible organizations in the Southwest, you see that we have been able to give our youth proper education. So it's very, very difficult to lure Muslim youth in Southwest into some of these criminal activities, because all our organizations are registered with government. They are not faceless organizations, number one. Then two, we do our things in the open. Three, our organization is led by educated people by Islamic and Western standard. So they know Islam, they practice Islam, and they ensure that they inculcate knowledge in people rather than indoctrination. And most of our things are based on juristic views that you can read and cite. Not one scholar says you should do this, no. So in the Muslim Congress, you see artisans, you see educated person, you see typical Islamic scholars. But all of us will flow together, because from the first day, we build our organization on knowledge and knowledge sharing.
How do you think this strategy will combat the ideological indoctrination of Muslims, or especially youth in the northeast part?
Yes, there is need for collaboration and idea sharing, and that's why we are not limiting our activities to Southwest. As we speak, we have established a branch in Abuja, a branch in Niger, and within the last week, we are also working with our brothers in Yobe State, who have seen the need to associate with responsible Islamic. In fact, they requested for our certificates of registration. Or there are some American organizations who want to fund peace initiative, and they want to partner with responsible. In fact, they cited the Muslim Congress, because they have seen our activities. We have websites, we have Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitter. So we are not faceless. We travel abroad. None of our members are humiliated, because we are partners with government. It doesn't mean we are in government, but we partner with government. We are not anti-state. Any organization that is anti-state, it means you are building a state within a state, and that is terrorism. You should respect military. You should respect the police force, because they are there to protect lives and property. Once you say you don't recognize them, you have problem, and that's what happened to the Shia in Nigeria. So you don't indoctrinate your people. Let them be informed. Let them be educated, so that where you and government even clash on ideological ground, you go to court. For instance, look at the issue of hijab. We are in court with some other organization, but in some part of the world, they will start demonstrating, killing, causing commotion. That is terrorism. So we don't allow that in our own organization.
Okay, sir. On the theme of this year's National Islamic Training Program, what lesson do you want the delegates to take home?
Yes, if you look at the theme, we said change, Islamic perspective. So many people in Nigeria today, across the political parties, they all agree that there is need for change in Nigeria, because socially, politically, economically, Nigeria has remained stagnant. But most of the advocates of change, they themselves don't understand the nature and the dynamics of change. Many of them, they cannot even change their own person, not to talk of their family, and you want to change a nation. So if you are talking about change, you must understand that change simply means you want to change your norms, your worldviews, the way you spend your time, your money, your honor. So if you are not ready to sacrifice, then don't expect change. There are so many people who are looting Nigerian treasury. They are also chorusing change. The change is that the money of Nigeria should be spent on Nigeria. The meaning of change is that we should do away with mediocrity and we'll start using merit. People who are competent to manage our resources, our local government, our state, and the federal structure. But some are saying change, but they are not ready to let it go. Sycophancy, incompetence, etc. So change has come with sacrifices, and they need to tighten our belt. But many are not ready to tighten their belt. Look at the fat salary people in the House of Assembly, National Assembly, etc. They are giving to themselves, and they want to cut the minimum wage, but they are not ready to cut. So that's not change. The real change is that everybody must sacrifice. The leaders and the led, the rich and the poor, everybody, for the collective good. Do you understand? Look at our tertiary institution. They are glorified primary school. Change simply means all the waste that we are putting into White Elephant project should be diverted to university for research, for teaching, etc. So that we are going to have quality human resources that will man our ministry, that will man our local government. But many people don't understand change like that. They just believe that change will just come like a miracle and Nigeria will become South Africa or America, maybe in a day. No. You must sacrifice a lot. That's what change means. And we're not telling that if Nigerians don't appreciate this, you as Muslim, you must go home with some of these lessons, that you must be ready to sacrifice time, your honor, your money, and everything for the collective good. That is what we are trying to imbibe in our participants.
Okay, Islamophobia has been honed, especially in Nigeria. In what way do you think this can affect the unity, the entity called Nigeria?
Yes, Islamophobia simply means you have hatred for anything called Nigeria, anything called Islam. And this is dangerous. Dangerous in the sense that if you look at so many non-Muslims, they are enjoying a lot of privileges, which ordinarily is not in their religion. But because they copied from the Muslims, government approved it for them, and they are enjoying. A very good example is pilgrimage. Everybody knows there is no pilgrimage in Christianity. But because Muslims are doing it, they felt, well, it's national cake, we must also partake in it. Government approved it for them. Muslims never complain because we all own Nigeria. But when it comes to our own turn, people don't reciprocate in the same manner. Look at hijab. In all our secondary schools, our sister wearing beret is a colonial legacy and a Christian legacy. Now that we say we want to adopt hijab without affecting anybody, many of them kicked against it. That is Islamophobia. So for the development of Nigeria, it is very, very important to live and let's live. But the moment that you are living and you don't want the other person to live, it breeds what we can call radicalism. And that's what is happening in some part of the world. Where you are giving everybody fundamental human rights, you are respecting their culture, their norms and tradition. Even look at traditional religious practitioners. You earmark vote for them under the name of culture. When it comes to Muslims, you say, well, we don't have nothing to do. It promotes radicalism. And where you have organizations that cannot caution their members, then they resort to what you are saying in Zaria and that part of the world. But in this part of the world, we have resorted to the use of Islamic instrumentation, which is writing letter, petition, dialoguing, and if need be, go to court in the case of hijab and other things. But in the interests of progress and development in Nigeria, we must allow that. Look at US. It's not it's an Islamic state, yet they give Muslims what they deserve, in spite of terrorism and what have you. They allow people to use their hijab and they respect their symbols. But in this part of the world, Muslims are even in the majority. Because some people are in the corridor of power, they are the policy maker, they now skewed government policy in favor of their religion, and because of course, they fear Muslims and Islam. We have seen some interviews where our Muslim brother went there with beard. He said, "You must shave your beard." Whereas globally, keeping beard is a personal identity, or it could be a religious identity, which is allowed. The most important is the competence and the merit, not what I wear or the features I put on. In UK, in America, you see some of their children who are Muslims, who are even convert, they keep heavy beards. Their beard is even bigger than Osama bin Laden. If you don't have criminal record, nobody must victimize you or profile you. But in this part of the world, where we are even in the majority, people call us all sorts of names, which should stop in the interest of sustainable growth and peaceful coexistence.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.